After the rain, the river flows. After the rain, the river flows. After the rain, the river flows.
Hey everyone, I'm Allara. I'm a musician, composer, filmmaker involved in the climate justice movement, and I'm a proud Yorta Yorta woman. I had the absolute privilege to be here on Wurundjeri country in the Kulin Nation and pay my deep respects to their ancestors, elders, past, present, and all of their mob, especially their children. They're absolutely amazing people, the Wurundjeri, and they inspire me every day through continuation of practicing their culture since the time of creation. Even through colonisation, they continue to inspire me through fighting for justice, and they're just beautiful people. So very proud to be here walking on Wurundjeri land. A bit about me. I grew up in Bendigo on Yorta country, and I moved to here on Wurundjeri country to study music at Box Hill Institute, and have since been here for 8-9 years. I finished with a Bachelor of Music Performance in electric bass and double bass. And originally I was just playing in bands and was a real foundation backup person, like never really used a mic or did any of this, never wrote my own songs. But with my journey of identity and fighting for protection of country with SEED, Indigenous Youth Climate Network, I realised I had a lot more to say than what I could say just playing bass. And so I went on the journey to start writing songs, and a loop station like this one here gave me the opportunity to record bass parts, still hide a little bit behind my instrument, but it also gave me the ability to use my voice at the same time as hearing those bass parts, which I felt really comfortable doing. When I first started playing with the loop station, I was really inspired by people like John Butler, Tash Sultana, Ed Sheeran, Kimbra, Reggie Watts, and also someone who you guys might know more recently, Kian, has been using a loop station as well, and she does it very beautifully with that stunning voice. I wrote While It Is Life over multiple months, starting with just the bass line. And I had the chorus, after the rain, the river flows, which came to me quite quickly. I was just mucking around on the bass, singing different parts, and those words just came out. And then I knew that I wanted to write about protection of country through the work that I was doing with SEED at the time. And I wanted to tell a bit about my story and about Yorta Yorta country. So I used the word walla for water, which is, walla means water in Yorta Yorta. I love that that rhymes. And it ended up that I saw a film that SEED made called Water is Life, and it was about fracking in the NT. And fracking in the NT is a really big concern for multiple reasons, but particularly because water would be pulled out of the ground and used with a lot of nasty chemicals that can really devastate country and poison the country. And so I didn't want to tell their story, but I wrote, from my perspective, what does water mean to me as a Yorta Yorta woman? And so I went on to write Water is Life, and with the reference to water is life, to pay my respects to those mob who have a big fight. And I also wanted to use some of my language and tell some of my stories. So through all of the lyrics, there's a lot of cultural stories embedded through those lyrics, which if you get the chance to meet me, ask me what does fingerling swim wild mean, and why does it make Mother Moon smile? So I hope you enjoy the tutorial and the song, and I hope to connect with you soon.
After the rain, the river flows. After the rain.
And this is Weather is Life.
Walla is life. Walla falls from sky, rain beginning of life, like our kinship ties. In Mother Earth's eyes, riverbanks flow wide, fingerlings swim wild, making Mother Moon smile. Has it rained in a while? Walla is blood. Walla gives flood. Walla is life. Gotta get law right. Limitless undercurrents. Pushing, pulling, pumping. Gliding, sliding, mulling. Trickle from the nipple of sacred springs. It's an animal thing. Made to give us wings. Might come if we sing. After the rain, the river flows. After the rain, the river flows. After the rain, the river flows. After the rain, the river flows, and the kookaburra sings. And the kookaburra sings. In the gabasat, 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 in the gabasat. In the gabasat, 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 in the gabasat. Season summer breeze, leaves southeasterlies. Frost on toes will freeze and plants to make you sneeze. Downpours, thunderstorms, temps above the norm. Bees will cease to swarm and ocean far too warm. It's an animal thing, made to give us wings. Might come if we sing. After the rain, the river flows. After the rain, the river flows. After the rain, the river flows. After the rain, the river flows, and the kookaburra sings. The kookaburra sings. The kookaburra sings. bar sings. Endless supply in the gabasai. 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 After the rain, the river flows. 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 After the rain.
I'm going to show you how I play Allara Life. We're going to focus on the 1, 2, 3 tracks, and I'm going to show you how I use them together to create an interesting composition. What is looping? A loop pedal allows you to record an excerpt of sound and then plays it back over and over, repeating until you either stop it or you overdub it or you press stop. Here's an example of how I lay the very first layer, which is the classic bass line. This is an example of how I start a loop. To create a good beat or riff to record in a loop, the most important aspect is time. And so before you even start recording, you need to start and stop on the same beat. So for example, if you're using a 1-bar loop and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, you want to start on the 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to click off on the 1. So I'll show you an example using the bass line that I use for Allara Life. The loop that I do is a 4-bar loop, so I'll show you that way. Counting myself in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. Press on the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Once you've made the first loop, you are committed to that length of time. So I've committed to 4 bars. Once I have that very first layer down, I click on the record button again. I've got the settings on mine that my loop pedal continues to record so that I can overdub the first loop. So I add extra layers to my loop. And then the next layer, I just go up the octave. So I do the A to the E, and then I go the B flat to the F and record that. And then the next layer is just those same notes but bowed. What I love about using the loop station and the double bass and all these instruments is you can create such a beautiful range of textures. So that's, for example, the pluck and the bow together. It's really, I really like the sounds of the textures. The Boss RC300 has heaps more functions than what I use. It's got lots of different drum sounds, it's got lots of different effects, but I mainly use it for its like super simple, just recording the loops, and I use all these other instruments and things to make the sound that I want.
After the rain, the